we kind of progressing. I would say when I came, I wasn't seeing so much about anything black outside. I mean, I lived in Berlin, even though it's a capital city. Everything was just blonde, blue eyes. Even though there were African community, Ghanaian community, and the other West African, the other African countries there, but generals are going to Rossman, going to, when it comes to everyday life stuff, you wouldn't see any representation. And after some time, 2015, 16, things started changing. So you walk out and you see billboard with dark skin.
This is in Berlin.
Yes,
Okay.
this is in Berlin.
'Cause
And
I,
now
I thought Berlin was the most diverse.
it is diverse, but the thing is, Africans were not showing up. We just stay in our little corner. Like when I came in and I was very out because I lived with the Germans, so I'm always in the German, and everywhere I go, I find myself being the only black person in the room. Beginning, it was a little bit like, it got to a point I felt I wasn't even black anymore because I was so getting white everywhere that you're always black, and then you find another black person, it's just too black. But then you realize this black person is very much in the German circle. So I find like we were so much keeping ourselves in our little corner and not integrating, like spreading our wings. So now it's progressing. I see black police. You see, I've seen black bus drivers, like areas where the work that I'm doing, there's a lot of few blacks that I've seen, and we are not just being told we have to do cleaning jobs and those kind of jobs. That kept us little, so it kept us, we were not visible, but now there's more visibility, so we are progressing, I would say.
Okay, so as a community, there's a lot of progression, and
Yes.
black people are more
Yes.
visible and you can see. But within the community itself, within the black community itself, and the way the black people relate to each other, what have you seen any difference between when we started?
Sure. So I'll speak in terms of Ghana because I'm from Ghana. When I came, I was told not to deal with Ghanaians or my people. I have to stick to myself. And I would say, me personally, I have faced prejudice. Racism is a whole different story. Prejudice and a bit of racism from my own people because I'm different. I do not fit into the very typical Ghanaian man. I live after, look, I've done my hair, I'm a little bit feminine, masculine, so I don't fit into the box. And Ghanaians, I'll speak because I'm Ghanaian, we tend to alien people when we don't feel they are like us. So when I came, it actually helped me to stay in the German community because I was eliminated. Even though later I did stuff to push Ghanaians, to push Africans, in my everyday interaction life, I was more in the Germans because I went to a club, African club, and an African guy came up to me and kind of like, why do you look like a girl? Why are you gay? And all kind of stuff. But I never had that in a German club or in the settings of German. In fact, I was more celebrated. But among the Ghanaians, now it's changing a bit because the generation is a bit different. But when I came, just being tolerated, or they will say it to your face. And even today, like last year or so, I was at an event and some people came up talking about them like, you don't have to talk about these things. I mean, these are private life issues. Imagine it was a woman, an elderly woman. I said, if I imagine you being told you are a baby making machine, how would you feel? We are more than sexual objects. There's more, human beings are more than just a little part of us. So for me, when it comes to the Ghanaian community, with the new generation, it works. But with the older folks, they call me Antichrist. Not kidding.
Wow.
Yes.
And how did you deal with that? Getting it from like your own people. How did that make you feel? How did you deal with that?
Well, I think Ghana taught me a good lesson. I mean, I grew up in Ghana. I went to school in Ghana, and I was very tough. My mom is a very tough woman, so we were instilled with confidence. I never had to crave for love from anybody because I have full love from my parents. So that's one thing I would say to parents, that they need to be available. They need to show love to their kids because this is what goes along with them. So I was very self-aware of myself and very confident, and I didn't need acceptance from anybody because however I will see outside, like when I go out, I leave the house. I don't go to a friend to get dressed. My mother actually will dress me up.
Oh, okay.
So that gave me this self-confidence that I don't need to bother myself with what people say. So when I moved to Germany, I just applied that I just have to ignore, focus on the things that I want to do, why I'm here, and my life as living here. And that's what helped me. So I just ignore a lot of people.